last night I saw her. She said she saw a man standing in her window, staring at her.
Okay, everyone, spooky season is upon us, and I have two horror movies this week that maybe you haven't heard of, but you really should pay attention to. First up is Dream Eater, directed by Jay Drakulich, Mallory Drum, and Alex Lee Williams, and produced by Eli Roth. Dream Eater tells the story of Mallory and Alex, a couple looking to take a break from the chaos in a remote cabin in the woods. And they definitely need a break. After all, Alex has been suffering from increasingly dark episodes of sleepwalking in the middle of the night. As Alex's condition worsens, Mallory discovers that there may be something far more terrifying going on beneath the surface that could threaten both of their lives. In Dream Eater, Drakulich, Mallory, and Williams have brought us a film that feels admittedly familiar. After all, ever since Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity, found footage horror is nothing new. However, Dream Eater knows that and manages not only to meet those expectations, but offer homages to a number of other classic horror films. In many ways, it seeks to emulate those films and put their own unique spin on it.
While people do sleepwalk, rarely do they lash out violently.
It's worth noting that in Dream Eater, they take this experience of parasomnia very seriously. Lots of research has been done to give a more authentic portrayal to the experiences of what people who struggle with this actually go through. Now, obviously, this is given a paranormal spin, which gives it a whole other level, but it also, as a structural device, gives Mallory a reason to keep the camera rolling. She is trying to keep record of all of their experiences, which makes it more logical why we have this found footage drama in the first place.
You live alone out here? Nope.
But Dream Eater isn't alone this weekend. In fact, with the release of Shelby Oaks, we have another film that uses found footage as a stylistic device, but does so in an entirely different way. So let's talk about that one as well. Directed by Chris Stuckman, Shelby Oaks tells the story of Riley, a YouTube sensation known for exploring the paranormal with her team. However, Riley's channel ended after she disappeared suddenly, leaving few clues as to her whereabouts. Years later, Riley's sister Mia still hasn't given up the search for her sister, and when new evidence presents itself, she jumps at the chance to bring her home. However, Riley's disappearance seems to be rooted in the dark shadows of the spirit world, and Maya enters into a space that threatens everything and everyone that she loves. Director Chris Stuckman has been known for years as a YouTuber who does in-depth studies of film and loves the horror genre. And for his first feature, he delves into all of the tropes that he loves from other films. One of those is found footage. However, what makes Shelby Oaks work in this particular case is that it doesn't rely entirely on that genre. It taps into a number of different vibes, ranging from crime thriller to supernatural horror, and blends them all in this way that makes it feel actually fairly unique. Credit must also be given to the film's two leads, Camille Sullivan and Sarah Dern. As Mia, Sullivan brings an obsessiveness as she searches feverishly for her sister, yet she never loses the compassion and the love that is expressed through her actions. Meanwhile, as Riley, Dern balances her performance with the charm of an online persona with a shattered soul that stems back to her early childhood. But what I find interesting about these entirely different films that just happen to be paired on the same weekend before Halloween is that they both seem to deal with the same sense of anxiety. And
Come back to bed.
Without giving any spoilers, both Shelby Oaks and Dream Eater use their paranormal thrills to deal with the very grounded realities and anxieties of having children. In both of these films, we see characters who are dealing with the anxieties and traumas of their past that they have carried with them in the present, and their greatest fear is whether or not they're going to be able to avoid passing it on to the next generation. Of course, they need to face those things in order to move past this. Whether or not they're able to do that is another thing entirely.
I've been searching for Riley for the last 12 years. I know my sister's not dead.
While I admit that horror is not my favorite genre, I have to admit that Shelby Oaks and Dream Eater are some solid releases leading up to Halloween. Both of them use their found footage stylistic device effectively, creating some solid jump scares and their paranormal setting, while at the same time both films have a thoughtful subtext that makes them interesting to explore once the credits roll. Both Shelby Oaks and Dream Eater are in theaters on October 24th, 2025.